Oh, I like your signs too. Those are really good.
You want a sign? You want a sign?
Is there a high resolution picture of the film?
Oh, I'm not sure. You have to talk to our comms person. Oh, no. You want? Actually, who are we missing?
Es que yo como no tenía tapado, solo le daba bu. Había que era esa palabra.
I knew she'd eventually get to the end.
Alguien se me la robó. La camisa de ella está aquí también.
Irene, sorry.
First of all, thank you for coming today. Sorry. First of all, thank you for coming today. Today, the court moved our case forward one step. We have not brought Kilmar home, but we have been able to at least secure that we will be able to question those involved and get information, get evidence as required and requested. So even though today we don't have a order of contempt or anything that some in the press have been calling for, this is still a win and this is still progress in the case. We're not done yet though. We need to keep applying pressure and keep pushing back against this narrative that the question of this case is about whether or not Kilmar is a quote-unquote terrorist. That's not what this question is about. That's not what this case is about. This case is about the government unlawfully and admitting to unlawfully removing a gentleman from this country, from Maryland, from his home, his family, his children, and taking no actions, no meaningful steps to fix that, as ordered by the Supreme Court in a unanimous decision. So we hope you all will continue to follow along on this case and support the family.
How would you characterize the government's approach to this?
I mean, they are doing what they're required to do, right? Which is to push back as they're being told to do, the government attorneys. The government themselves arguably has not acted in good faith, has not provided in their status reports any meaningful steps of what they've taken, which is what the judge confirmed today, that they did not do that. So take that for what you will.
Earlier today, in one of the status updates, the DOJ said if Mr. Abrego Garcia shows up at a port of entry, that he could potentially be deported to a third country or back to El Salvador. What are your thoughts on that?
I may be speaking a little bit out of turn, but I'm quite upset that the government purposefully, well, in my opinion, purposefully read that out loud today in court, called attention to that specific paragraph with his wife in the courtroom, given that that is not how this works. The Department of Homeland Security, DHS, has no authority to remove someone's withholding of removal. They can move that the case is reopened. They can present evidence, which we have yet to see, of their allegations, but a judge is the one who makes the decision to remove withholding of removal.
What are the next steps?
When will the government be included?
So our requests are due tomorrow for who we would like to speak with. But essentially, it's the four persons who provided those affidavits for the status reports. So at minimum, them.
Are you thinking of requesting someone higher up in this thing?
At this time, I can't say. We'll see tomorrow. Okay.
Since time is of the essence, are you concerned about the delay and how long this is actually taking?
Yes, except I think that this court has understood the serious concerns in this case with safety and has moved to expeditiously go through the discovery process faster than I'm aware of being done. So yes, I'm concerned, but this probably is as fast as we could have it.
What are the next steps now?
Yeah. So the next steps are to submit our questions and what we would like, our ask, by tomorrow, and then the government has a week to respond. Essentially, within 2 weeks, we should, in theory, be done with discovery.
I want to ask you something that came out of the White House today. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt mentioned something that could be very upsetting to the family members, saying that Mr. Abrego Garcia was a human trafficker. Can you guys respond to that?
Honestly, I can't, because I have seen no evidence to support that statement. So I don't know where that's coming from. I don't know if it's a mischaracterization or how it was worded that way. I don't know where that comes from.
And have you guys gotten any updates on his condition inside court, other than the status, inside that facility, other than the status updates?
Unfortunately not.
Are you at all concerned that you might not get any additional substantive answers from the department, and that it'll just be 2 weeks later with no answers and maybe heading toward contempt, but still not closer to the facilitation of a return or substantive answers?
I don't think that we can honestly say that's outside of the realm of possibility. However, we have to believe in this justice system, and we have to believe that they will do as ordered. Otherwise, yes, we have to take next steps, and I think the court is prepared to do so.
What can the thousands of working people who support the family and Jennifer do to be in solidarity? What do you suggest that we do to express our support?
I think that's probably a question for CASA and the wonderful people who've been supporting the family. Our role is purely legal, and hope to attack what the family needs through that angle.
Can you describe the semantics that are at play here? The defense suggested that the word facilitate, different interpretations. Can you describe your response to that?
So, well, to keep it simple, I would say we rely on the filings. The government is attempting to limit, but I think the Supreme Court has been clear. They said to facilitate the release from custody, correct? So even if we define facilitate to mean something specific, you can't ignore the next part of that sentence. And that's what the government has continued to try to do, which the judge spoke out against today. Well, I think it could look like a number of things. The government has many times before facilitated the return of foreign nationals, U.S. citizens, legal permanent residents from abroad. So they know the processes and steps and the people to reach out to, the agencies that need to be involved to make that happen.
In the case we call against the Supreme Court,
I think the court is attempting to limit that possibility by making her statements today and ordering expedited discovery and not jumping straight to contempt. I think the government is prepared to do that if necessary, and we're prepared to fight back if that's what's needed.
Mr. Bukele said that he is a member of the NS-13, and if he will come back, he's not protected, so he will be supported again.
So, just as a small clarification, at this time no evidence has been submitted about this allegation, proving this allegation or supporting this allegation, and it was the government who said that he would be detained in the United States and potentially deported, but that's not up for this court or this proceeding. It's up for an immigration court to decide once he's back here.
What options are available should the government not follow through on the court's directives?
I think reasonably the next steps would be contempt. There could be sanctions such as monetary daily sanctions, non-monetary sanctions, personal sanctions. There are a number of options.
Would these sanctions be on DOJ attorneys? Where would they fall?
It could be on DOJ attorneys, yes, because they are the ones who are put forward to provide these status updates in their professional or personal capacity.
When the judge mentioned these interrogatories and depositions that she wants, she mentioned a couple of names. She mentioned Robert Suna. What other people do you think she would like to hear from? Do you think that they can ask?
So specifically, it's the four people who provided those affidavits in the status reports. Outside of that, it's up for us to call, and I can't speak to that at this time.
What is she talking about privilege regarding the acting general counsel?
So the government likely intends to argue that they have privilege from disclosing certain pieces of information or evidence, and the judge essentially told them, show your work, prove it, and I'll make a ruling.
What do you have to say to Democrats that said they're willing to travel to El Salvador to help, and do you believe that would be beneficial?
At this time, I think the position we should take is that it's the government's obligation to facilitate that. Now, whether they want to coordinate with, I know, for example, Senator Van Hollen has offered this. If they want to coordinate with him, by all means, go for it. But I don't think it should be up to our elected representatives to personally take that on. It's the government's responsibility. But it's a great thing for them to know so that they can take advantage of that. Yes, Rina, R-I-N-A, last name Gandhi, G-A-N as in Nancy, D-H-I. Thank you.
Y brevemente para las audiencias latinoamericanas y para nuestra comunidad, en español nomás vamos a brevemente hacer un resumen de lo que nos acaba de compartir la abogada Reña. Ella ahorita presentó el caso y representó a los intereses de la familia en el caso de Kilmar. Sabemos que número uno, lo que compartió es que fue bastante frustrante la sesión en que el gobierno igual se está manifestando de una manera lenta en contestar las exigencias y la orden judicial que ha pedido la Corte. Aunque sí tenemos algunas demoras en el regreso, se siente bien en que sí se está avanzando el caso. Y ahorita tomó nota en que asegurarnos de que la Corte ha exigido que en aproximadamente una semana el gobierno responda a una serie de preguntas para poder avanzar este caso y saber exactamente qué están haciendo para facilitar el regreso de Kilmar a su familia que encontramos aquí. Entonces, igual sabemos que hay muchas preguntas de la prensa sobre las consecuencias de no actuar de una manera expedita, pero se sabe que pase lo que pase, este gobierno sí va a sufrir las consecuencias, sí va a haber un precio que pagar muy alto. En cuestión de exactamente cuál va a ser ese precio, es posible que algunos abogados que están representando al gobierno ahorita tal vez sufren unas sanciones, unas consecuencias por la falta de actuar de una manera inmediata. Entonces, aquí está el equipo legal asegurándose que se va a avanzar este caso lo más pronto, lo más expedito posible, y están todos alentados porque sabemos que tenemos una buena juez que está haciendo todo lo posible para avanzar este caso en todo lo que se puede. Entonces, les agradeció su tiempo y obviamente está aquí para contestar cualquier cosa. So if you could just outline the next steps. ¿En español? Sí. Yo soy George Escobar, yo soy jefe de servicios en casa que está representando los intereses de la familia y trabajando en colaboración con el equipo legal. La pregunta, perdón. Ya.
You want to repeat it? Yeah. I can't believe you remembered all that. Okay, so as far as the next steps go, we are filing tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday, yes. We are filing tomorrow our kind of questions, our ask. Then the government gets an opportunity to respond in a week, and basically within 2 weeks we should be completed with the deposition.
Entonces para mañana se hace una deposición, se hace el pedido y las preguntas específicas de las cuales queremos ver la respuesta. Ellos después tienen una semana para poder responder esas preguntas, y lo que se estima es que lo que esperamos que en el transcurso de 2 semanas más tengamos ya Kilmar de regreso aquí con nosotros.
Okay.
So,
yes, well, I mean, realistically, it's not over in 2 weeks. 2 weeks is when we are completed with all the kind of fighting, basically. But no, it's not over in 2 weeks.
Do you have another date to come here again? Or
Not yet. She's going to order it, though. she'll order it. She's going to write down all the different stuff, so you'll all be able to
This
see
be
it.
after
It
tomorrow?
might be later
Today?
tonight. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you.
And it'll have all the dates.
Si él regresa aquí, entonces se le estaría procesando nuevamente para deportarlo.
No.
It is possible. It is possible. The government, in order to remove withholding of removal, has to move for the case to be reopened. Right? They have to present evidence, and yes, they are allowed to do that. But they do that here. They don't do that in the news. They don't do that, abroad. So the first step is bring him here.
Y obviamente seguiríamos defendiendo su caso, y es obvio que no hay evidencia ahorita que justificaba su detención en el primer lugar o que justifica su deportación. Entonces, al abrirse el caso, igual le defenderíamos utilizando las
Hay una
mismas
pregunta y
herramientas.
dicen, aseguran que él perteneció a las pandillas y por eso que él está corriendo peligro de regresar. ¿Cuál es esa evidencia de que él verdaderamente
Exactamente, y
perteneció?
eso habló la abogada, claramente que no existe.
We would love to see it.
No existe evidencia.
No saben quién fue el informante, o sea, de dónde salió esa idea.
No existe ninguna evidencia que se ha presentado en la corte, y eso es lo que han pedido los abogados, es que demuestren esa evidencia y la traigan a la corte para
The government will have its opportunity if they bring him back.
Yeah, they said they couldn't hear the audio. I had the audio maybe it was too low.
That's fine, but bring him home
Yo creo
first.
que sí, proceso de